Everyone, I'm Cynthia Conte for Ring TV. We're here at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas where we just saw Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin, the fight that we've all been waiting for, and it finally happened. And the results? It was a draw. So let's go find out what these two fighters have to say about their entire fight.
Loeffler, is Tom around? We'll have Tom. Yeah, he'll come here? Okay. We'll wait for Tom Loeffler so he can introduce Gennady and the team.
Well, it was a terrific event. We had a great turnout, great resonance. I think the first score that we saw was a little bit rough. I don't know how that one came up, but from my understanding, the HBO scores had it pretty clear for Triple G. I'm not sure. The main thing is he's still champion. He defended the titles. It sets up a terrific rematch if Canelo wants a rematch, if he wants another crack at the titles. Certainly sit down with Eric and Oscar to put that together. Gennady doesn't feel like it was a draw. He feels like he's the winner. He still feels like the champion, which he is, but he didn't think it was that close. So I'd like to turn it over. Abel, you want to say a few words on your behalf?
Sure. Thanks for this great turnout. We had the kind of fight that I thought we were going to have. I thought that one of the judges had her card filled out before she came to the fight, but that's unfortunate that in Vegas it seemed to go to different schools to learn how to judge a fight. But if Canelo wants a rematch, I'm sure that they'll put it together and we'll have another great one.
Then we can just open it up. We're going to have questions. Gennady just wants to go into questions, so we can get some questions from the press.
You guys here? Okay, you're going to have to get a little closer to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
we're going to open up for questions. Okay. Really? It's like a big echo. We'll text this.
Just your reaction to the scorecard, those 118, 110.
Well, that was the card I was referring to. I mean, you can make an argument. There were a few close rounds, but I don't know. I really couldn't make any argument at 118, 110. Like I said, my understanding was HBO on their scores had it pretty wide for Triple G. That's how I scored it. We give Canelo respect for his performance in the ring, but I think Gennady pressed the action on a continual basis, and I thought it was pretty clear for him. But like I said, the main thing is he kept his titles, and what else can you say?
Abel, the same question to you. The 118, 110 scorecard.
Like I said, I thought she had her card filled out before she got here. But I voiced the question prior to the fight when they were selecting the judges that I thought that she was so up and down with her scoring. One fight she looks good, and then 3-4 fights she does terrible. I just think she needs to be reviewed. She can't be that bad, or she can't be that blind, I should say, that she can do that to so many fights. Okay, there we go. What I was saying is that I had some issues with her when they gave us the list of judges. I said that she was so up and down with fights. She had one good one, and then she'd have 3 or 4 bad ones. I think she needs to be reviewed. I think she needs to go back to school and learn how to judge a fight.
Abel, even though Canelo at times stood and fought, I personally have never seen him move that much in a fight. Did that surprise you?
It did surprise me, but you can't win a fight going away and getting hit with jabs. And like I said, I don't know how they judge that aspect of it, but that's not boxing. He ran for most of the second part of the fight, and you can't win runs that way.
Questions, guys? Thank you very much. Okay.
Where are you going, Mark?
Abel,
what part of the game plan worked, and what part did you have to adjust as the fight went on?
We did what we wanted. I think that the first couple rounds, like I said to everybody before the fight, the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for both guys. And we were going to win going away, say, by a couple, 3 points. I thought that's what we did. I thought we were busier with the jab. We were busier landing the bigger shots. Canelo lands sporadic shots while he was running away. Harold Letterman, who has nothing to do with either fighter, and both fighters are HBO fighters, had it 8-4, which is what I had it.
Hi guys, Michael Montero here. This is a question for Eric and Tom. Is there any plan to possibly investigate Judge Adelaide BYRD or possibly seek a suspension, anything like that? Obviously, this was not a 10 rounds to 2 fight. This is a very close competitive fight, and that scorecard left a lot of fans who spent a lot of money on this fight feeling ripped off. Is there any plan to investigate that judge?
Well, from our side, we'll have a discussion with Bob Bennett from the Nevada Athletic Commission. He's the one that assigned Adelaide BYRD. You know, I'm not sure how far a protest is going to go, but we'll certainly have a discussion. We certainly have a discussion with him and see after he speaks to her, you know, what type of reasoning. Because I agree with you, Mike. I don't know how you can have 10 rounds of 2 the other way. It just doesn't really make sense. But you know, again, the main thing is he's still the champion. It could have been a lot worse up here. So he's still the champion. And if the fans, I think the fans are going to demand a rematch, and, you know, we can always put that together and see who's, you know, who will assert themselves the second time around.
Gareth A. Davis from The Telegraph. Could I ask Gennady, I'm here, Gennady. Could I ask you?
Wait, hold one second. I'll answer. He asked me the question as well. Look, I'm open to either have a meeting with Tom and Bob, sit down with him and talk to him. I don't agree with that score either. I don't agree with it. But we'll sit down and you know, we're not the boxing commission. We're the promoters, and we have to let them. There's a process when this happens with the boxing commission. And we're going to be supportive. We'll sit down. We'll do whatever Tom wants. I have no problem with that.
Gareth A. Davis from The Telegraph. Gennady, congratulations on the most amazing fight tonight.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, and could you answer in Kazakh and have it translated? You've just had an amazing fight in what should have been the defining fight of your career, and most people believe you should have walked away with a victory. How does it make you feel when perhaps the judges have let down one of the greatest fights we've seen for a very long time?
This is terrible for sport, for boxing. You know, I'm a champion. This is biggest fight for boxing. You know, if these judges, you know, like today, this is terrible. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And presumably you do want to put the record straight and do it again.
A question for Abel.
He's just going to answer the second part of that question.
Right. Yesterday you told me that if they didn't, the commission didn't.
You know, I'm a fighter. I'm a boxer. You know, if second fight the same, you know, for me, this is not my problem. You know, just I come into boxing. I come into ring. You know, it's not my job. My job only in ring.
For Abel, you told me yesterday that if Bob Bennett didn't make Canelo trim his beard, that you would know what's coming with the judges. Did you feel that way going in?
No, he did trim his beard. It was a lot longer at the weigh-in. He trimmed it up on top, but the judges, there's something has to be done about the decisions here in Vegas like that. It's just unfair to the fighters.
Here's Bob Bennett from the Nevada Athletic Commission.
Let me say something. Hey guys, so I have some numbers for you. Final attendance was 22,358, which is the biggest boxing event attended here in the T-Mobile Arena, with 17,931 closed circuit seats. So I mean, look, all around, obviously, it was a great fight. It was a great fight. It was a great event. It was a great fight. Congratulations. Beautiful fight. I mean, that's what the fans love. That's what the fans love. It reminded me of a few of my fights when I was back in the day. Really good. So congratulations. A lot of people are not understanding 118, 110, just like myself. That's the bottom line. But I have to say that BYRD, yes, is a competent judge. She's been doing lots of world titles for many years. But yes, 118, 110, okay, yeah, yes it is. And I can understand 115, 113 and the draw, 114, 114. I mean, personally, I had it 7-5 Canelo. And people can argue it could have gone either way. It could have, because it was such a great fight. I mean, that's the bottom line. I think this is probably one of the best fights we've seen in recent years. These guys fought their heart out. Gennady's a tremendous champion, and Canelo's a tremendous champion. You know, and everybody has their opinion, but that's what made it such a great fight. You know, and I mean, I do feel bad for BYRD for taking a lot of heat now. 118, 110. That was pretty widespread, I have to admit. But look, this is boxing. She's, like I said, a very competent judge and has been judging for many years. And Las Vegas is one of the best commissions in the world. So I personally felt that that boxing won today. I think boxing, it was a win-win-win for everyone. I think this is what the sport needed, a fight like this. A fight like this with Triple G and Canelo.
We have Bob Bennett here now from the Athletic Commission, so I think if you have any questions for him, we could ask him now. That way he doesn't have to stay for the rest of the conference if you have any questions for Mr. Bennett.
Tom, straight back here. I'd like Tom and also Oscar and maybe Triple G to address this question. Like Oscar was saying, you and Canelo put on an absolutely fantastic fight, maybe a Fight of the Year candidate. Unfortunately, we're sitting in a press conference talking about a bad scorecard. What do you think about that as far as the way the public reacts? They see a great fight, everybody's excited, and then they hear that scorecard and they're disgusted. Bob, I talked to you already. I'd like to hear from Oscar and Tom and Triple G.
That's what I just asked him.
Okay, no, I got you.
You heard me say it. 118, 110 is not. No, people are scratching their heads. People are confused. What I mentioned was that I did see Canelo win 7-5. It was a close fight. Yes, it was. And I do have to admit, in front of Bob here, that 118, 110, and Bob is not the judge, but 118, 110, yes, it was a bit widespread. But what I am hearing, chatter and social media, I'm hearing, look, it was a close fight. It was a great fight, actually, because we haven't seen this type of action in such a long time. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I'd like to hear Tom's perspective on that. Just that instead of just only talking about the greatness of the fight, We're talking about scorecards that people disagree with severely.
No, you're right, Dan. It was a terrific fight. Both fighters need to get credit for fighting each other and putting on that type of performance. But, you know, if she had scored it, or if that judge had scored it, that same score for Triple G, you know, it wouldn't have been that way either. So, you know, scoring it that wide for Canelo, I think it takes away from a lot of the performance of the two fighters in the ring. And frankly, it's just not good for the sport of boxing. Luckily, the other two judges, you know, it was close. It could have gone either way, but I mean, I personally had it similar to the way HBO had it, and we had Gennady winning by a few rounds. But you know, like I said before, he's a champion, and he'll be happy to defend his titles many more times. Did you want to also get Gennady's perspective on that? Okay.
Then, no, I saw computer, you know, all total punches. I saw reaction, people reaction, you know. And for this, the Dodgers, you know, it's terrible. For me, it's terrible, you know, just, this is not correct, you know, this is very bad for sport.
That's fine. What's your question?
This is for Tom.
What?
Would you guys prefer to have a rematch in the Garden?
You know, that really depends. This was Gennady's first time up here in Las Vegas. I don't think it's the location so much as, you know, the judges. We think Kenny Bayless did a terrific job, a fine job between two, you know, combatants that were throwing big punches, and I think Kenny broke them correctly at the right times. He didn't let either fighter hold, and he kept the action flowing. So we have to give him a lot of credit. You know, Gennady's fought in Madison Square Garden 6 times. He always feels very comfortable there. But you know, when we made this fight, when I was negotiating with Oscar, you know, Gennady told me, doesn't matter where the fight is, just get me the ring and get me Canelo, and he'll take the fight. So I'm sure it'll be the same attitude that he has for the rematch, and then we'll just have to, you know, maybe check the judges a little bit closer, just depending on where the fight is.
Thank you. Guys, Michael Montero again. I'm sorry, I'm going to be a broken record. This question's for Mr. Bob Bennett. Same question. Sir, with all due respect, we've had several controversial scores here in Nevada in recent years. Rarely anything is done. Obviously, this was not a 10 rounds to 2 fight. This was a close fight. Neither fighter won more than 7 or 8 rounds. Is there going to be anything done about Judge Adalaide Byrd? Will there be an investigation? Maybe you'll sit down with her, watch the fight again, have her rescore it. What's the plan here?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate both fighters and both promoters. I think the fight was very competitive. Why don't you just be patient for a second instead of waving your hands? You're asking me a question. I take full responsibility and accountability for my team, okay? Adalaide Byrd has had over 115 championship fights or elimination bouts. Unfortunately, tonight, she didn't do well. She was off her mark, you know. So
it's not the first one.
Well, I beg to differ with you. If you go ahead and look at her last 3 years for every fight that she's had, you will find that she's very close to scoring every fight correctly. I have looked at her record over the last 3 years. I've got the records from Fight Facts. So if you've looked at them, then you tell me if I'm wrong.
I think there have been several fights in recent years that fans who are spending hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars for these fights feel the scoring is not adequate. And in this situation where you had 2 judges score a close fight, which is what 22,000 people saw and millions of people at home, and one judge saw it 10 rounds to 2, I think what we want, sir, and I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt.
No,
I'm just
not
asking.
at all.
what will be done about this because it's not the first time. Is there a plan to work with some of these judges to find out what they're missing that millions of other people are seeing? Because neither fighter won more than 8 rounds tonight. That's all I'm asking, sir. This 10 rounds to 2 is just a little too wide. A lot of people here are scared to say what I'm saying. I might lose a press credential for the rematch for saying this, but I'm asking what millions of fans, because a lot of people want me to ask these questions that a lot of people here are scared to ask. I just want to know what will be done. Is there a plan?
Yeah, of course there's a plan. I'll go over the fight with Adelaide round by round. She'll have to articulate to me what she saw, how she saw it, why she scored each round the way she did, and then we'll continue to move forward from there. There's not one person sitting in this audience that, in whatever their profession is, haven't had a bad night. She was off her mark tonight. So we will take appropriate action. We'll go over the fight. We'll look at it round by round, like I said, and we'll continue to move forward. But by and large, I can tell you we train very hard here. We prepare for the fights. I do a lot of background before I make my recommendations to the chairman and the commissioners for the officials. And unfortunately, and I'm responsible for it, that Adelaide had a bad night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Not at all. My pleasure. I should be asked those questions.
I just wanted to say we're going to have just one more question for Gennady because he needs to go back and take the rest of his tests. Yeah, so we'll do Chris's question.
Just Gennady, for Gennady and Abel, you guys had a lot of confidence coming into this fight that you could control it, that you would win comfortably. It seemed like when you were talking before the fight. For both of you, did Canelo surprise you in any way? Anything that he was able to do that you didn't think he was going to be able to do?
I thought he ran a little more than I expected, but like I said before the fight, the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for both guys, and we were going to wear him down as we did. That's why he was running, and we were going to win a fight going away by maybe 3 points, 4 points. I said that to all of you, or knock him out in the late rounds. But I expected him to tire out and to run like that, and for us to win it by 4 points, which is what I think we did.
Not a lot, Chris, just he talked too much before fight. He said he's true Mexican man, just I told him I bring Mexican style. I want a true fight, close distance, He knows he need only decision, only 12 rounds. He moved every round, moving, not stay, just. That isn't a surprise. He moving, he not stay close to me, not front to me.
So with that, we'll turn it back over to...
One more question.
Tom, back here, behind you.
How you guys doing? Coach Anthony here with Behind the Gloves. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Gennady Golovkin and Abel Sanchez. Thank you to Golden Boy for putting on a great card. My scorecard was 116-112 for Canelo, so I don't feel like it was a robbery. It could be 115-113. So my question to Abel is, because Abel said that Danny Jacobs is the second best middleweight in the division, do you still feel that way, or do you feel that Canelo Alvarez actually proved that he may be the best, or in your opinion, the second best in the division?
I think him and Danny are very close together. I think Danny fought a little harder than Canelo. Canelo just ran a little too much today, but Canelo should be considered up there in the top 3, yes.
So with that, we're going to wrap up Gennady's portion. We're going to turn it back over to Oscar. We just want to thank Golden Boy. We want to thank the MGM and T-Mobile. I mean, it was a terrific event. I don't think one judge's scorecard should affect the fight. I want to give Bob Bennett a lot of credit because a lot of people wouldn't come up to address the media like that represent the Athletic Commission. So we want to give him credit for that also. I want to again thank MGM, and our stay up here was good in Las Vegas, so we appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, wanted to get your thoughts on the fight, and then secondly, on Canelo's performance specifically.
First of all, I think the fight was what it was. It was a fight back and forth. There was some adjustments that both guys made, and they gave the fans what they wanted. At one time, they threw punches at each other for like maybe 20 seconds, which is like, all day in boxing when it's in the 8th or 9th round and they're going back and forth. Canelo performance, compared to some of the writers and some of the, fans that I run into, Canelo handled the Grand Reaper very well. And when it happened again, it will be much easier, I believe. But that's another story. I think that, as Oscar said and Eric said, this fight, the middleweight division, one of the reasons I got a tuxedo on is because I know how significant it is to the history and the history of a division that I was part of for 12 years. And so I seen an excellent fight tonight. I seen a fight with two guys wanted to be the best and undisputed and represented going forward. And, we just gotta get over what the controversy is or what the disagreement is. But at the end of the day, no one, I believe, in this building, they have the right, can say that they didn't enjoy the fight itself. Take everything else to the side. We're going to deal with that one way or the other. But the fight itself wasn't a failure.
All right, shoot away.
Bueno, primero que nada quiero agradecerles a todos el apoyo que siempre brindaron para esta pelea y pues muy contento por lo que sucedió hoy.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for all the support that you gave this fight, and I'm very happy with what we all saw tonight.
Muchas gracias, de verdad.
Question for Canelo. Canelo, this is the most I have seen you move in a fight. Was that your plan going in, or was that something that kind of came to you as the fight began?
Sí, era el plan de pelea. Era el plan que teníamos, pelear en medio del ring. En ocasiones me dio la pauta para poder estar en las cuerdas también. Y pues hicimos lo que teníamos que hacer, lo que teníamos planeado hacer para la pelea.
Yes, that was the plan of the fight from the get-go. Use the ring, fight in the center of the ring, use the ropes, and we did exactly that, what we prepared for.
Buenas noches, Canelo, por acá. Omar Pérez de Guadalajara. Oye, Saúl, más allá del resultado, se está hablando desgraciadamente de la tarjeta, pero ¿qué le dirías a la gente sobre la pelea que tú y Golovkin entregaron a un deporte que requería revitalizarse con un combate como este, más allá de que está tan cerrada que todo el mundo vio un marcador diferente?
Mira, yo creo que ya fuera del marcador o del empate, creo que esta pelea le dio al boxeo lo que necesitaba, credibilidad, y eso es lo más importante.
The question was, you guys gave a tremendous fight, but going beyond the scorecards, what do you feel about the fight? And he says, look, the points put aside, we did and we gave boxing what it needed, a great fight tonight.
Saúl, Martín Navarro de Radio Metrópoli. ¿Habrá más peleas contra Golovkin? ¿Y gana la afición también con esta clase de pelea que hubo el día de hoy?
Sin duda, la afición es la que gana aquí, ¿no? Como lo digo, aparte del empate ya la afición gana, y pues si la gente quiere ver un desempate, lo hacemos, ¿por qué no?
The question was, does the fans win? Does boxing win with a decision like this? And he says, absolutely. With this kind of fight, absolutely. Boxing wins, the fans win, and if the fans want to see it again, why not? They could see it again.
How you doing?
Straight back here, Canelo. That was a terrific fight, but we're obviously talking a lot about the scorecards. When you heard 118 to 110, What did you think? Did you think that you won it by that wide, or that was going to go in Triple G's favor?
De las tarjetas. No, realmente no me basé o me fijé en las tarjetas 110, 118. Yo lo que sí tenía en mente que había ganado la pelea, mínimo 8 rounds de la pelea. No, son los que gané, eso es lo que yo pensé durante toda la pelea.
Look, I didn't base it on a scorecard. I wasn't going round, taking points round by round, but what I am sure of at the end of the fight was that I won. I have no doubt about it in my mind. I won the fight.
Canelo, what part of the fight were you most proud of? Was it the final 3 rounds, the way you fought from 10 through 12?
Toda la pelea hice lo que tenía que hacer, hice lo que mi esquina me indicaba hacer, lo que trabajamos en el gimnasio, lo que hicimos en toda la preparación lo hice, lo realicé y estoy orgulloso de lo que hice esta noche.
I'm very honored, the whole fight, everything during the fight, because I did what we prepared for. I did what we trained in the gym. I did what my corner was telling me to do. So the whole fight, I'm very, very honored and proud of it.
And you spoke of, caring so much about boxing. It seems like it almost sets up perfectly for a rematch at Cinco de Mayo weekend. Is that what you want?
Pues ahorita voy a descansar el resto del año y ya nos sentaremos a platicar a ver qué es lo que viene.
Look, right now I want to take some time off. I want to rest the rest of the year. And then, yes, definitely, we'll sit down with our team and decide what's next.
Thank you.
Canelo, what did you think of Golovkin's power? How does it compare with other fighters that you have faced?
Tiene el poder diferente a otros peleadores, ¿no? Pero no es el monstruo que decían que tenía una pegada temible. No, la verdad no sentí eso.
He has power. It's a different power than others I faced, but he's also a monster that everybody was talking about. I didn't feel that.
Hi, Canelo. Congrats on a great performance. Oscar said the plan is to exercise the rematch clause for another fight. After having 12 rounds to process Golovkin, how would you fight him differently, if at all?
No, he didn't say that.
Oscar didn't say he's going to exercise it. What he said is there is a rematch clause. Oscar said there is a rematch clause. He didn't say he's going to exercise it. The question was, is there a rematch clause? Oscar was answering, yes, there is a rematch clause. We're going to sit down with him, see what he wants to do. So that it might have been a misunderstanding, but there is a rematch clause.
Okay, well, anyway, if there is a rematch, how would you fight him differently, if at all?
Hice una pelea que me indicaron mi esquina, ¿no? Ya sería trabajar de diferente manera a lo que ellos me digan, trabajar y hacer una preparación, pero pues ya estamos hablando de cosas extras, ¿no? Ahorita hay que disfrutar de esta noche, una noche que esta pelea revivió el boxeo, una pelea que el público quedó contento y eso era lo que quería.
Look, I did what the corner indicated me to do. I executed the plan like we had planned, set it up from the beginning. For a future one, for another fight, well, we'll look back and see what the plan's going to be, what the strategy is going to be. But right now, you know what? I just want to enjoy this fight. We gave what the fans wanted, what they've been claiming for and waiting for, a beautiful fight.
Canelo, you seem to really hurt Gennady 30 seconds into the 10th round. Can you tell us what you were thinking at that point of the fight?
Quería noquearlo, esa es la verdad. Quería noquearlo, pero no tenía un peleador fácil enfrente. Tenía un peleador difícil, tenía un peleador fuerte, complicado y simplemente no pude en ese momento que lo tenía lastimado, ¿no? Pero mis ganas de noquearlo estaban ahí. Eso es lo que pensé en ese rato.
I wanted to knock him out. I wanted to finish it right there, but we gotta remember I didn't have just any opponent. I didn't have an easy opponent. I had a strong opponent, complicated, experienced, and it didn't unfold like that, like I would have wanted to.
How you doing? This question's for Canelo. How you doing? It's Coach Anthony. We're behind the gloves. congratulations on your victory. I thought you won a very close fight, but you seem to have gotten tired at some point of the fight. And in previous fights, I also seen you it seems like you're getting tired. Is there something in your training that you're not doing that is causing you to not be able to fight a full 3 minutes? It seems like you fight in spots, you pick your shots, but a lot of the times you just don't look like you have that extra win we need to secure the round.
No, siempre hacemos una preparación bien, me he sentido bien. Es una fatiga normal cuando es una pelea de este tipo y más con un peleador como él, ¿no? Un peleador que siempre viene hacia el frente exigiendo pelea. Es normal la fatiga, ¿no? Pero mis golpes siguen saliendo fuertes.
Look, we do everything in preparation. I don't think nothing's lacking there, but when you have a fight of this magnitude, of this level, of this intensity, you're going to get fatigued. That's normal. But I'm not to the point where my punches don't have power anymore. So that shows that my conditioning and my strength is still there.
Saúl, cuando saliste de los vestidores el público te ovacionó de gran manera, pero durante tu entrevista con HBO te estaban abucheando. ¿Cuál es tu comentario al respecto sobre cómo se voltearon hacia ti al final del combate?
No, ninguno. Creo que la gente puede reaccionar como se le dé la gana.
Saúl, felicidades. ¿Volverás a pelear en México en algún momento de tu carrera futuro?
No veo quién me hace la pregunta.
Sí.
Me encantaría, ¿por qué no? Me encantaría, no lo hemos pensado ahorita, me encantaría volver a pelear en México, porque no es mi país y para mí pelear en México es un orgullo.
The question was, would you consider fighting in Mexico once again? And the answer is yes, I would love to. I haven't thought about it right now, but I would love to. It's my country, and there's nothing that makes me prouder but to fight in Mexico. One more question, people, please. One more question.
Jorge Mille. Sorry. Canelo, congrats. It was a great performance, whatever the scores tonight, but would you be ready to fight again this year, or if a rematch happens, you're looking probably for next May?
No, voy a descansar el resto del año, ya sería para el próximo año, mayo o septiembre.
No, I'm going to rest. I'm going to rest the rest of the year, and we'll be fighting next year, May and September.
Saúl, Jorge Mille por acá. Ya dices que vas a descansar lo que resta del año. ¿Te gustaría iniciar el próximo año enfrentando nuevamente a Triple G o ves a Saunders como tu próximo rival?
Si la gente quiere ver la revancha, la hacemos, ¿no? Pero no sabemos si mayo o septiembre, como el desempate, perdón. Revancha. Sería, no sé si mayo o septiembre. Ahorita vamos a descansar, no tengo cabeza para pensar ahorita si en mayo o septiembre o con quién. Ahorita voy a descansar y disfrutar de esta noche. Y disfrutar la era del Canelo todavía.
The question was, would you fight next year in May or September? Would you fight the second fight with Gennady in May? He says, look, right now I want to rest. Whatever the fans want, whatever the people want and ask for, we'll do. You know that's my style. But right now, who knows in May or September? But one thing's for sure, this is my era. The era of Canelo. Thank you, everybody.
Gracias a todos.
Well, you guys heard what the two fighters had to say about their all-out war. It was a great night of fights. They had an amazing fight. There's a little bit of controversy, but that is what boxing is all about. We love the sport, we support the sport, and we just keep watching. So make sure you guys tune in, watch the fight. I'm Cynthia Conte for Ring TV. Be there, watch it.